Hello and welcome to lecture 6 of unit 2 in strategic management course of MBA program. I am Pankaj Chauhan. I am associated with Ajay Kumar Garg Institute of Management, Ghaziabad. In this session, I will discuss important topic under environmental scanning, that is VRIO framework. The focus of this session will be about to make you clear how resource-based view and VRIO framework are related to each other. In this session, we will also discuss the 4 very important dimensions that one should evaluate about any resource and capability to make out a decision whether it will be a source of advantage or not. In the last part of this session, I will discuss how to use VRIO framework and what next once you are done with the VRIO framework, what is the next that you can do with it. So far learning outcomes are concerned, after this session you will be able to understand the linkage between resource based view and VRIO framework. You will be able to describe all 4 key dimensions of VRIO framework. You will be able to explain why VRIO framework to be used and how it should be used. I will tell you a step-by-step process regarding how to use VRIO framework. Therefore, you will be able to answer this question. By the end of the session, you will be able to understand the role of VRIO framework in the strategic planning, and you will become aware of evaluative questions related to VRIO framework that one must ask in order to use VRIO framework. So with this initial expectation regarding this session, let us begin the topic, that is VRIO framework. So in this slide, we will discuss the overview, how the VRIO framework evolved, and I will give you a kind of historic hint how the VRIO framework and resource based view are related to each other. So resource based view and VRIO model are related to each other. VRIO model explore the resources that cause company to earn below or above average return. So the very first thing that should be come to your mind when we thought of VRIO framework is that eventually we will be able to evaluate the performance, strategic performance. It will also hint me even before my strategy is there, if I am using XYZ resources, what could be the possible return, whether the company will be earning below average return or above average return, because the profitability part largely depend on effective utilization of resources, and this is something which we have discussed in the previous session. So I would recommend to go with the previous sessions of this unit. The argument related to the use of resources in obtaining competitive advantage. Initially, the advantages that company can have largely associated with the external environment, which means that if you have got a favorable pistol set, encouraging pistol set, things are moving as you want, you have got a very good economy which is growing, you have very good legal practices, you have all positive things in the external environment, and that too you are a part of such an industry which is flourishing. So if that kind of favorable things happen to you, you will generate some sort of competitive advantage in time to come, and that will give you some benefits. So basically in the initial part of the development of this course on strategic management, earlier it was viewed that the development of competitive advantage largely associated with to which industry you belong, what kind of external environmental factors are, how they are changing, what are the level of threats, what are the conditions of opportunity, that largely decide the fate of a company. Brigger in 1984, he initiated that an argument by quoting that competitive advantages can be sourced to the resources, and he proposed the concept of resource based view. So, resource based view concept was initiated by Brigger Warnerfeld in 1984, and through this concept of resource based view, he was trying to tell that what company has got in terms of resources, company basically build up on the resources and capabilities. So, why not to utilize these as a source to create competitive advantage. So, that argument was initiated by Brigger and Warnerfeld in 1984, and this the same argument was carried forward by J. Burney. J. Burney was a professor in strategic management. He actually advanced this resource based view and presented VRIU framework, because there is a question, if you are proposing that internal environment analysis which led you to know that what are the level of strength and weaknesses in terms of resources, and you are saying that your resources can be utilized in generating competitive advantage. Okay, as a concept seems good, but what is the way out? How we will develop competitive advantage? How somebody can be sure that which resource should be used? That was answered by J. Burney in the through this framework called VRIU framework in 1991. If you remember, this is the same time wherein the concept of core competency and the distinctive competency and the competency was developed by C.K. Prahalad and Gary Hamel. So, this is a little historic viewpoint of the VRIU framework. Let us move to the key dimensions of VRIU framework. So, VRIU framework has got 4 key dimensions, and in the coming 4 slides we will be picking up each one by one, so that we can understand the real spirit of this framework. The very first dimension is valuable. Valuable means whether the resource is capable to be used in a strategy. If I am sure that this resource can give me some kind of advantage, obviously that could be the part of my strategy. So, any resource which is capable to be used in a strategy is valuable. Why I am using it? As I said, to have any kind of advantage, or many a time it could be to counter the threat of the competitors, or can be utilized to exploit any opportunity existing in the market. So, basically resource can be considered as key, which is used to counter the threat and to exploit opportunity, or if it is used properly in the strategy, it can be used to develop advantage. Expected return out of the investment in the resource must be greater. Now, you can see that these are the some sort of conditions that are indicating how to analyze whether the resource is valuable or not. The first condition is that the resource should be capable of being used in the strategy. Second is expected return out of the investment in the resource, right? Whatever we invested in the resource, how much it is going to give us. Whatever return we are getting out of it, this return, it should be greater. It should be greater than the investment. Then we will say that the resource that is under the consideration is valuable. And the very I would say very important or very basic criteria to check whether something is valuable or not is just to think as if it is not available. So, as if something is not available, what kind of disadvantage I could have. So, think about a time wherein you are deprived of this resource which is under the consideration. Would you be having some sort of competitive disadvantage? If answer is yes, then this resource is valuable. If answer is no, then this resource is not that much valuable. So, the dimension of value is clear. Now, we move to the next. See, this VRIU is a kind of acronym, wherein V stand for value, R stand for rare, I stand for immutability, O stand for organization or organize, capability to organize. Now, the next dimension is rare. If I have a resource which is valuable, right? So, as a company, this valuable resource will take me to a level wherein I will be at par with my competitor. So, basically, valuable resource will equate this strength. My competitor could have some valuable resources, and if I also have got these resources which are valuable to me, and these are equally important to counter the response of the competitors. So, then I will say that these resources are valuable because these are helping me to equate the strength of my competitor. So, if these are available to company, the company will be only just at par, but strategic value will be lost. If you have got such a kind of resource which your competitors don't have, then that will contain some strategic value. But if the same thing is available to your competitors, it means that it was valuable because it is basically bringing you to those strength with which you can fight. So, once it is valuable and available to your competitors, its strategic value lost. All companies will be at par in the competition. So, only valuable will not work. Any uncommon resource or a resource which is not accessible to most competitors is called rare. That is the criteria how to check rarity in a resource. To check the rarity in a resource, just look at whether the resource under the question is accessible to my competitors or not. If it is not accessible, obviously it is rare. Rare resources have strategic value. All of us, we are very clear about this. Something which give me advantage and not available with my competitor, it will give me some strategic value. And the rare resources need to be valued. This is very important. I share with you one example wherein we see that a company is containing a rare resource, but it is not valuable. It is not valuable for that company, so it will not give any kind of strategic value or advantage. So, point is, if you have got any valuable resource, it has to be rare. Likewise, if you have got any kind of rare resource, it has to be valuable. If any of the item is removed, it is of no use, so far strategy is concerned. So, valuable and rare resources, can give temporary competitive advantage. Why temporary? Because there are still two more things to check. If they are there, then only we can change the status of competitive advantage. Now, let me share you the example wherein, as I said, wherein a company has got something rare, but was not valuable for the company. This example is regarding Xerox. Xerox mainly known for its copier machines, but it was it indeed into the lot of other products and basically into the research areas related to product development. Xerox developed something we called GUI, graphic user interface. It was developed by Xerox. But problem is, this graphical user interface, it was rare because it was not available with others. It was only available with Xerox. It was rare. But for company like Xerox, it is of no use because they were not able to understand where to use it. Their engineers, they developed it, but they were not knowing where to use it, how to consume this. So, it is a kind of rare resource which is of no value for this company. So, Steve Jobs of Apple. He happened to in contact with the CEO of Xerox, Maglock, and he came to know that they are with this kind of rare resource, and Steve was looking for such kind of resource for his own MacBook. So he got the idea and used this. So Steve has got something where it can harness the value of this rare resource, and therefore when rare join the value, it become a very strategic resource for Apple. Now let us understand the next dimension, which is imitability. Resource should be hard to imitate. Valuable and a rare resource alone is not enough for long-term competitive advantage, because later or sooner competitors will get a copy of it. They will do the reverse engineering, they will do some sort of the technology change, try to get the alternate of it. So by and large, in time to come, they'll get a copy of it, and therein you will lose the advantage if you are developing an advantage based on valuable and rare resource. So add this to value and rare, which is hard to imitate. If something is valuable to the company, rarely available to the competitors, and hard to imitate, then this will give more advantage as compared to the first two conditions. So what are the conditions that create hardness in copying or imitating? So resources are hard to imitate if cost of making copy is very high. Affordability: if competitors are not able to afford it, then such a resource would be hard to copy. Second, legally protected resources are also hard to imitate. Patent, trademark, copyright, any intellectual property right that a company has got on a particular resource create hardness in terms of its imitability. All of us knows that Microsoft enjoyed the protection done by the IPR to the Windows, and they enjoyed almost a kind of monopoly. Second is access to the unique physical location, any location of the plant in suitable temperature zone, for example, that cannot be easily imitated, because this temperature zone is something which is geographical or a kind of natural gift to that geography, that cannot be created somewhere else. Either you have to shift your plant to that location where your competitors is there, otherwise you cannot create that environment. So unique physical location, if you have the access to that kind of location, and you are able to use it in your strategy, and which is not available to your competitors, that is rare, then definitely it will give you the long term or better advantages. Vague associations of resources and companies' advantage. This is very important. Personally, I always insist, most of the students who are learning strategy, see, strategies are not written in somewhere a holy book of strategy in the company. You have to find the strategy, you have to explore, and how that exploration is done. For that exploration, let me give you the statement which help you to understand my point. There are lot of tactics over this strategy. So you need to uncover your strategy by removing those tactics. And because there are lot of tactics which appear to be strategic in nature, those create some sort of vague association. Many a time competitors are not able to judge whether it is strategic or tactics, just because it been oriented in that fashion. So as a student of strategy, I must be knowing at what point of time company is basically using strategy to cover up this using the tactics to cover up the main strategy. So if vague association is lying between your resources and the advantage, obviously it is very hard to imitate. Finally, valuable, rare and hard to imitate resources can give competitive advantage. Now we come to the we are coming to the next final dimension of the VRIO framework, that is O, organize to utilize. Proper processing of resources is required to capture the value. Resources alone cannot generate advantage spontaneously. Obviously, having a resource, like as I said in case of Xerox, they were having graphical user interface with them for so long, but they were not so organized to utilize it. They were not able to understand the value of that. So, that remain unproductive resource for Xerox for quite a longer period of time. So, process system, budget, culture that create organizing capacity within the company, that is very much which is required to harness the value lying within the rare and hard to imitate resource. If I have got a resource which is hard to imitate, which is rare, which is valuable, and I am equally organized to use it, then I can harness the entire value from it. That definitely can give me the relatively better advantage. So, the company with all support mechanism, one single word that I can use over here is or what organize means, for the utilization of my resource, to effectively utilize my resource, as I said, spontaneously it will not generate any value. Spontaneously it will not generate. Auto generation of value is not a reality. To generate value out of this resource, I need some support mechanism. And what this support mechanism is? This support mechanism consisting of processes, systems, budget, culture. When these combine together to a resource which is valuable, which is rare, which is hard to imitate, and I am organized to use it, then I can generate competitive advantage out of it, and I can remove the tag temporary from here. Now, this will be sustainable competitive advantage. So, these are the basic 4 dimensions. Now, let me move to a very interesting question. VRIO framework, why we should use it? Because we want to answer this question: how to determine competitive potential or uniqueness of resources and capabilities. What is the way out? If somebody wants to understand the competitive potential of and the uniqueness of the resource, how should I go about it? VRIO framework is the answer. So, if somebody asks why we should use VRIO framework, because this is the only available framework per se. Lot of others are now as a part of extension or a replacement are available, but initially it is the only framework which was developed just to guide someone to a process wherein the outcome will help you to understand whether the resource and the capability under question can generate any kind of competitive advantage or not. Now, let us move to the VRIO framework as such. What are the different, how we should use it? So, first of all, we should be using it by using certain questions. So, I should raise 4 questions. So, how to use it is linking to this. Ask these questions about resource and capability. So, if I ask these questions, I will get certain answer, and those answers will give me whether my resource is potential enough to give me whether my resource has enough potential to give me advantage or not. So, how to use it? I will ask certain questions. What are these questions? For every letter of this acronym, I will have one question. For value, does it provide competitive advantage from the company's point of view? I would ask, does the resource enable the firm to counteract external threat or take advantage of external opportunity? If the answer is yes, obviously it is valuable. Rare, is it you or do other competitors have it? Question of rarity would be, does company possess any resource which is accessible to it only, or which is available only to a few? See, it is not possible these days that something is in your exclusive possession. But if it is not exclusively in your possession, you should check whether it is available to only a few or not. Only a few means very less number of competitors are having it. I can consider it as a rare resource. I stand for immutability. Is it easy for competitors to copy or have its alternate? Question regarding immutability would be, do the competitors without the resource under the review, the resource which I am considering, which I want to check, that is called under review resource, face cost disadvantage? Don't having it will create any disadvantage or not. And last question is about the organization. Does the policies, procedures and the culture of the company support the use of, as I said, go for the support mechanism. Check whether you have enough support mechanism to use this resource or not, and this is how you will use it. The resource should be listed over here. Here you will list down the resource and capability which you want to evaluate, and ask this question: is it valuable? No, it is not valuable. If it is not valuable, I will not ask any question. If it is not valuable, I will remove this from my list because it is not adding any value. If it is valuable, yes, I will ask another question. Is it rare? No. I will take it and consider it what will be its outcome. I will ask another question. If it is rare, is it hard to imitate? If it is answer is it hard to imitate? No, it is not hard to imitate. Definitely it will not give me any advantage. If it is hard to imitate, yes, it will give me advantage. So ultimately for any resource which I have mentioned or I have listed here, there should be all yeses. If I have got all yes in all the column regarding valuable, rareness, immutability and organization, then I will say that resource can be used in my strategy. So ask these questions. These are the questions which I have already discussed, and if I am moving through this chain where I consider the resource, I ask, is this valuable? Yes. Is it rare? Yes. Is it hard to imitate? Yes. Am I organized to use it? Yes. It will give me sustainable competitive advantage for sure. Now this is one example of Starbucks. I'll just take you through this example little fast. Here we have considered the three capabilities of Starbucks: strong global presence, specialty coffee, and upscale and cozy atmosphere. So take this one by one. Strong global presence. Is it valuable? Yes, it is valuable because it with the help of this company generating more value. Is it rare? Starbucks is globally and it is most recognizable. So it's a rare. However, competitors are also existing, but they are not globally recognizable on all the places. So in that manner, it is rare. Immutability and non-substitutability. Obviously, global presence is not easy to imitate, and because it requires a lot of money to get it done. Organize, yes, obviously company is using and taking advantage. Likewise, so how it will be giving me sustainable competitive advantage, because there are all yes. Specialty coffee, okay, unique flavor I am getting it, but these specialty coffee is not something which is rare. So it will give me a competitive parity. Last one is upscale and atmosphere. 2 yes, valuable, yes it is valuable. Rare, yes it is valuable, it is rare, but it is not something which is imitable. And obviously company is making people enjoy taking the advantage out of it. So it will give me the temporary advantage. Why temporary? Because it is not hard to copy. So this is the summary of this slide, VRIO framework. I will move to this, look at the performance implications. If you have all no's over here, then below average return, all yes will give you the above average return. This already I have covered. Now what next? This is very important. Once you are done with the VRIO framework, once the resource and capabilities linked to sustainable advantage are explored, what is next? Next would be I should explore the potential to improve. I will check how I can maintain its real potential while using it. And second question, how I can improve the existing potential of the resource. So next step after this entire VRIO framework is to check how I will improve and how I will sustain the potential of that resource. So with this we come to end of this session, and I hope that the VRIO framework and its association with the RBV is clear to you. Thank you so much.